Just when you thought that nothing could get any crazier, we have this election in which Hillary Clinton calls Joe Biden's age a legitimate issue. So we're going to be simulating for you guys today an election where we have the presidential ticket swapped at the last minute. At the 11th hour, we have Hillary Clinton and Gavin Newsom versus Trump and presumably, let's say, Kristi Noem. So, consulting the article, it says that former First Lady Hillary Clinton said that she believes that President Biden's age is a legitimate campaign issue, even as the commander in chief is under fire for damning special counsel reports, accusing him of being senile. The quote goes, I talk to many people in the White House all the time, and they know it's an issue. But as I like to say, look, it's a legitimate issue. Earlier the week, she says it's a legitimate issue for ex-president Donald Trump, who's only 3 years younger, right? So it's an issue. So mind you, she's saying that Donald Trump's age is an issue and that he's younger than Joe Biden. So what's the implication there, obviously? So now, if you want to opportunistically take Biden's power while you have a chance, it would be the time for Hillary to step in. So, I mean, there's viral tweets and memes at the expense of his dementia, which makes you think, okay, so maybe Hillary might save the Democrats, is what the conventional wisdom might actually be. Let's consult the polls to see how that bears out. So, if you look here, as recently as 2018, Hillary Clinton's favorability rating was still low. It didn't go any lower than before, but it also didn't go up. Now, if you look at 2016, her favorability rating was about 42%. Joe Biden's is like 39. So she's a little more popular than Biden around the election of 2016, and Trump still won. So that means that Biden's probably going to lose to Trump. Here's the thing, though. Her popularity is even lower now, at least 5 years ago it was, than what it was a long time ago in 2016. Now, if we look at the most recent polling, which again is sparse because she's not even running, it's sparse. If you look here, her fame is obviously super high, but her popularity is only at 39. She's not any more popular than is Joe Biden. And so that's something we need to consult. And I'll fill this out. So, as we all know, the 2016 election was pretty close, even though Trump handedly did win the electoral vote. He hardly won it in regards to the popular vote in the respective states that he won. And so it's a very complicated thing to parse through, which is why you need a genius to commentate on it. Well, when we're looking at the states that are even going to be somewhat close, we can give you a little bit of certainty as to what's going to go red and blue for now. So, in regards to the vice presidential candidates, I chose Newsom because let's say that Kamala is loyal to Biden, which is not true, but let's just assume that is. We can simplify this by saying that Gavin Newsom is the highest profile Democrat aside from Hillary Clinton to be the Democratic nominee in 24, which would say that this year I think would be Newsom as vice president and then Hillary as president on the ticket. Now, the reason why that's the case is because Hillary already ran in 2016. There's a bunch of Democrats that think that Trump lost in 2016 because of more Russia and stuff like that. So, I mean, there is a niche possibility this could happen. Now, Clinton is a little younger than Biden, maybe by like 5 or 6 years. So, I mean, that's something to brag about, maybe. But also keep in mind that she's not the sharpest person ever, but she also doesn't have any sense of dementia either. And so that's what she's going to sell people on. Now, like I said, there's no bench for the Democrats. They have Gavin Newsom, who is an unpopular governor in California, who was recalled unsuccessfully. But I mean, that being brought up is still like, divorce proceedings. Even if he didn't get divorced, it still is awkward. And so, realistically speaking, he's coming in like an injured elephant out of the big state of California, and he's going to come in as a hindrance to Hillary. But I think they might help each other out because they're both cut from the same neoliberal centrist Democrat cloth. And what you'll often find with these people is that they're actually really good at fundraising. And so we might see fundraising be better for the Democrats this cycle over what happened with Biden 4 years ago. But we have to see that play out. Now, this is a hypothetical. We have Noam as the vice presidential candidate for Trump only because she wouldn't really affect the numbers either way, because people that are voting Republican are voting for Trump mostly, and so the vice president doesn't factor in. Whereas somebody like Clinton or in particular Biden are older, plus are already like established politicians, so their vice president is a lot more likely to step in, and so that's a more important consideration. Okay, you might be able to tell that I'm sick right now, but I feel like the people of Ohio are even more sick with Hillary Clinton. They voted against her in 2016, voted against Biden in 20, but I think that Hillary Clinton is uniquely hated in LeBron's home state. Now, the reason why I say that is because, in particular, their state electorate has become more Republican. In 2016, we saw a sway of the suburban vote to the left, but also the rural vote and the white working class vote, the working poor, these people that work in construction factories, or sorry, factories and do construction work. These people are definitely the types that voted for Trump in 2016. This trend will follow. A state like Virginia is going to be really easy for Hillary to hold on to, primarily because This is where a lot of the Nova voters are. I mean, you saw year over year in 2012 when Romney was actually predominantly campaigning in the state of Virginia when he lost it to Obama. It was still competitive, but in 2016, it kind of got solidified as Democrat. You're going to see that come back again. Now, granted, that might be true, but you also have to consider the fact. So the fact is obviously that Virginia is going blue, but there's other states that are more solidified than before. So prior in 2016, if you remember 8 years ago, Trump had a campaign in places like Ohio, Iowa, etc. He doesn't need to do that anymore. If he's campaigning in Iowa or Ohio again, he's an idiot because that's a waste of resources. These are solidified. The same goes for New Mexico, Colorado. These are places that were more contested in 2016 because they were using the Bush era math from 2004. And so, with that being said, you're going to see the campaigns respectively change the way they spend their money. So, in 2016, places like Rome, Georgia in general was not really given attention. Now it's getting all the attention because obviously that's where the money is. That's where it's going to be close. Y'all can remember just how much was going on here in the state of Florida. Florida was going insane in regards to all the electioneering in 2016. Trump won Florida barely. 2020 won it by a lot. 24 winning it by even more, I predict. Okay. So I think that Florida is going red as well. You can say the same thing for Texas. Okay. Now, the election's looking a lot more even. Again, it goes down to maybe a half a dozen states. The first one we're going to be talking about in this case is Minnesota. Minnesota is going to go out. Now, you have to understand that Hillary Clinton running for president is a generic Democrat minus percentages, okay? What do I mean? Hillary Clinton as a politician sucks. She was never really good. I mean, it's kind of like how Kamala Harris is somehow more stable than is Joe Biden, but is less popular, okay? Bill Clinton was a competent politician, and Hillary wasn't horrendous in the 90s, but still was less popular than her charismatic husband, okay? So Clinton is going to be a standard Democrat vote that's anti Trump, but less so because people are going to say, well, look, I'm going to sit this one out because I don't like Trump, but Hillary is disgusting. She's a swamp. But Joe Biden, there was a little bit of cognitive dissonance in 2020, and maybe even still, where they're like, okay, well, look, Obama wasn't that bad. The Clintons are evil, but I'm a liberal. I want free healthcare. I'm going to vote Joe Biden, but that doesn't exist. And so we're dealing with a lot of things. So there's not as many people that are going to not vote Democrat because their senile candidate is on the ballot. But there's also a lot of people that are, like liberal, hippie people that might say the Clintons are very corrupt. And even though they won't vote Republican, will just sit it out or vote RFK or, just cop out in some other fanciful way. And so that is something to consider. What is a bigger trade off? Okay. The senile voters or the people that think she's corrupt? It's hard to tell, but we'll take it state by state. In the state of North Carolina, this state has been ran really good by this guy, Michael Whatley. Now, he's going to be the presumptive RNC chair over Ronna McDaniel. She resigned. Now, I think that given the good results they've had for 8 straight years in North Carolina, you can honestly say, even since like 2014, make it 10 years, they've been killing it. And so the Republican Party has nothing to worry about down there. The next state I wanted to talk about is going to be um, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is interesting because obviously Pennsylvania is full of the working class. Those same people that made Ohio red are going to be in the fringes around those coal mines in Pennsylvania. Now, the energy policy from the Democratic Party, and Hillary is no different from Joe, who's really unpopular in Pennsylvania. These Democrats have alienated these voters that voted Trump in 2016. So therefore, it really doesn't make any sense for him to lose in 24 here. And again, the suburbs are not moving more left than they were before. I think 2020 was about the zenith of how blue they were going to get, with exceptions like, for example, Minnesota. Now, the next state is going to be Michigan. I'm really sick, by the way. Michigan is really disgusting in a way because they've got a ton of Clinton people, a bunch of like they kind of gentrify these places that were really ran down in Michigan around Detroit. These people tend to vote Democrat, these millennial, like work in a big building sort of types. These people are more predisposed to vote for Hillary. But the thing is, though, is that there are also people that are working class that are still, the 8 Mile type of people, a little less vigorous and a lot more patriotic. These 8 Mile types are going to make the state, I don't even know how to call it. Look, Hillary in Trump 2016 is going to be the same candidates, but I feel like the Democrats are under leveraged because the thing is with 2016 is that There was a party fatigue because Obama had 2 terms that were lackluster. That's true. But the economy was still growing slightly. The unemployment wasn't horrible. I mean, it was all right. And Trump still won. So if the Democrats are the incumbent party, even if it's a different candidate, the people are going to feel like, well, the economy sucks, foreign policy sucks, Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Russia, it's a mess. So I think a lot of the anti-war people would probably go for Trump in that case. Plus, obviously, the economy really matters in a rundown state like Michigan. I'm from there. I'm not dissing it. Same thing to a smaller extent with the smaller state in Wisconsin, of course, going red as well. The reason why I say it's going red is because of measures they've taken to counterbalance the ballot harvesting from 2020, where Trump barely lost the state anyway. And again, a lot of the same logic from Michigan extends to Wisconsin to a lesser extent. Plus, Michigan has always been more liberal of the two anyway. So, I mean, if one goes red, the other one does. Now, Georgia is going red as well. Why? Clinton, known for not being popular with black people. Now, the husband, Bill, plays the saxophone. He's got Riz, you could call it. Now, Hillary doesn't really have this. Of course, she is a saltine cracker with a vagina, so not going to happen. But Georgia is going to stay Republican. Black voters have been pretty disappointed with Joe Biden as well. Now, granted, we have Nevada. Nevada's going red too. Clinton, do you think the person working in a casino, a working class patriot, do you think they're going to vote for Clinton? No. How about Newsom? People in Nevada always hear from expats from California like, oh, I just left it. Oh, I'm living in Reno. Oh, I'm living in Henderson. I'm living in, the suburbs of Las Vegas. I'm from California. Gavin Newsom sucks. The gas is expensive. There's taxes, property prices, okay? These people in Nevada know all about California. Why the hell would they vote for vice president, a guy who was governor of California? Plus, when the head of the ticket is pushing 80, of course, the question is, okay, well, if Gavin is president, he's going to suck it up like he did in California. These people in Nevada know exactly what I'm talking about. The last state, Arizona, of course, I'm from there. We all know how bad California is. And I love to ironically gas up Gavin Newsom. But the truth is that he would hold down Hillary Clinton in the state of Arizona, where she is somewhat palatable. And that's why Trump is going to win it. And that's why he's going to win the entire country by 312 electoral votes over Hillary's 226. So it's the 2016 map plus Nevada. This is on the back of the fact that obviously the economy sucks for the Democrats. Hillary is like less likable than Biden, even if she doesn't have dementia. And so that balances everything out. And therefore, I think Trump wins. That's your video. And I've been really sick, but I want to put out content. Thank you so much. Have a runny nose. Adios.